Welcome to another Bench Talk series. I'm your host, Constantina, Chief Product Officer of Innovation Sprint. And today I'm thrilled to have as a host Kyun Thibaut from Covartim to discuss the landscape of medical device regulations. So I'll just say a few things that I know of you. We've met briefly a few years back. So Kyun Thibaut is the founder and managing director of Covartim, a medical device development company supporting innovators and startups to develop medical devices from early stages of product development at their unique infrastructure, the MedTech Atelier, which is our neighbor at VLSA, and of course until the end, the market access. So I know you're a passionate advocate of MedTech in general and organizing MedTech events and webinars, and this is how we met 2 years back. So as you say in your motto, you have to go the extra mile. And I know you have gone a lot of miles. So I wanted to discuss and if you can let us know a little bit about your background and how you and Covartim became the medical device kind of reference for Belgium and beyond. So floor is yours, Kyun.
Well, thank you for having me, even in those circumstances.
Yes, our virtual bench talk.
Yeah, but we adapt as we should. I have an engineering background. I was born in Korea but raised in Belgium, so I studied my whole life in Belgium, in Brussels. So I've done engineering, and really soon I dedicated myself to life sciences and more specifically medical devices. First as employee and growing as R&D engineer, program manager, and so on. And eventually, 4 years and a half ago, I started my own company, Covartim. And as you mentioned, it is an engineering company, and we are specialized in medical devices, in vitro diagnostic systems, and digital health solutions. And we are active in research development, industrialization, verification, validation, and quality assurance, regulatory affairs, which are really hot topics in that domain. We are based in Brussels, and we have a team of 13 people now.
Now, wow. So these were the miles, eh? What are I know the medical device landscape has been evolving and changing. What are the latest kind of updates in regards to that? Any updates?
As you probably know, the European regulatory framework for medical devices is currently following a directive, the 93-42. And this is going to be fully replaced by the Medical Device Regulation, MDR, 2017-745. The MDR was due to enter in May 2020, but was delayed by a whole year and will now be fully applicable from the 26th of May 2021. So currently there are only 17 notified bodies that are designated to perform the assessment under the MDR in order to achieve the certification and obtain the CE mark for a medical device.
From your experience, like a medical device, how necessary is it for a company or an app to go through the process?
Well, it is mandatory if your product qualifies as
not just necessary.
So it means that you do not have the choice, and you need to comply to the directive or regulation if your product is intended to have, let's say, clinical purpose, such as monitoring, diagnosis, prevention, and so on. So it may be seen as a burden, as it will require proper documentation and may sometimes lead to the setup of quality management system. And you will need to go through audits by notified bodies, depending on the risk class of your device. So these will require some time and financial resources.
Yeah, but that's the only way to go.
Yes.
What about though software applications? Like the whole landscape now has been transforming, words into different meanings, and a software was just software, but now a software is an application and it needs to be a medical device. So do they have to go through the whole thing?
As I said, it is mandatory if you are a medical device, but the good point, there are benefits, of course, to go through the process. It's a guarantee that you are developing your product while taking safety and effectiveness into account in the whole product life cycle, including during the early stage of development. And it will also allow you to clearly differentiate from lifestyle or wellness type of software, as you will have a medical intended purpose and then clinical claims.
Yeah, that was our mission as well. But of course, as we know as well, but do you want to mention some challenges that you have come across from your clients trying to go through this certification process?
Yes, as it often happens, a mobile application is composed of different modules, and not all of these modules qualify as medical device. So it's really important to clearly identify which one needs to be certified or not, and to define then the intended use. And from there, it's important to ensure traceability of the product development. And sometimes this can be really tricky when it comes to software development, as you try to remain agile and work in sprints. So documenting may not be your first reflex, but luckily you can use other software tools to help you develop your software product. Then, of course, you need to take into account the standards that needs to be followed for the design and verification of the software. And one critical step is the clinical evaluation that sometimes require clinical investigation if there is not so much data available in the literature. And on top of that, you may need to set up a full quality management system as per the ISO 13485 for your entire organization to be able to certify your product.
Yeah. Okay. And clinical trial.
And clinical trials, yes, it needs to be able to validate your product according to the intended use.
We're talking about how long?
For whole development cycle, they are the easy one, the class 1 device, so the lower risk kind of device as a software. Those could be a couple of months, including trials if it's a really limited amount of patients to recruit, up till class 3 software as medical device, and those may take years to get on the market.
Tough, but needed.
Yes.
So another topic that's been on everyone's mind and every day is the struggle that everyone's going through with the COVID pandemic. I know life sciences in particular have gone a tremendous change, and they in the way the trials have been done. Patients cannot go to hospitals. So in general, though, I see it more, well, a negative, but an opportunity for the life sciences to change. Sometimes you need a little kick. That was a big kick, but yeah, okay. So do you think medical devices have seen this as an opportunity that they need to be in the hands of the people? And so the whole pandemic, do you think has pushed companies to go through it, like now versus later, or?
I think so. Among other things, I think the COVID-19 has changed the mentality of the population, healthcare practitioners, and even the politics in the use of digital solutions to monitor, to treat, or even to communicate as we do today. So it may have been, let's call it an opportunity for software intended, for instance, to provide clinical decision support remotely, to connect chronic patients to their doctors regularly and ensure proper follow-up without taking any risk. As for the certification itself, for the software that did not require the intervention of a notified body for the certification, so mainly the lower risk device, class 1, it remained pretty straightforward. It did not change anything. But for those of a higher risk class, there was probably a big delay in their certification process because of the COVID-19 crisis and the resource allocation.
And it has been also kind of a slow time in terms of business development, so I think a lot of companies found it that they could, do all the ISOs and qualifications and so on take forever, and they need a focused process that when you have interruptions, so it has been, I think, opportunity for most. Another aspect that we have been going through and we're looking to is the digital therapeutic area. And for us, getting certified as a CE Mark Class 1 it has been a milestone in order to get into the process of reimbursement. So do you think companies are looking at this right now, like as a stepping stone for reimbursement?
Yes, I believe, as everyone does, that the reimbursement may be key to ensure and guarantee a business success. Because at the end of the day, someone has to pay for the use of the product, right?
Yeah.
The whole point is not to put the burden too much on the patient, because he did not have to be sick, but he is willing to use some tools that can treat or prevent any kind of disease. But I'm sure that we are going in the right direction. So we'll come to reimbursement of such medical device, even applications. I'll take the example of Belgium. There is a specific platform for mobile applications that are CE marked as medical device. It's an initiative from the Belgian federal government, and which may allow to reach reimbursement from the moment a medical device app is CE certified, allows interoperability and connectivity to the eHealth platform, and can demonstrate a social economic added value. And the last point is quite kind of tricky, of course, but you need to have this kind of health economics data to be able to show that you have added value to be a candidate for reimbursement. And as of today in Belgium, only one application is currently reimbursed officially by the National Institute for Health and Disability Insurance, but it is only for a specific use in a clinical investigation to assess the social economic impact. Other apps are reimbursed, but more by private insurance companies. Yeah. But this is really encouraging for sure. There will be medical device application that will be reimbursed soon in a larger scope of use in Belgium, certainly in other countries in Europe.
Yeah. No, I think that the loop is kind of closing. The technology is there. The patient requires this strict monitoring. It's just the matter of putting the doctors now in the loop, because currently they serve their patients, but they don't see the added value. They don't have time to appreciate the added value of actually getting all these insights of, every day of monitoring patients, and they don't have time to do this. So I think this loop kind of needs to get closed and kind of more a win-win for all.
Yeah,
if you ask doctors now, they'll tell you, like, what do I gain? Like, the patient comes and sees me, so why do I have to see him every day virtually, or, look at his, because that's where it's going, because health is becoming digital, and you can see so many more things and prevent so many others. So yeah, looking ahead. So it was excellent talking to you, and I hope we meet again soon, non-virtually.
Yes.
I heard your MedTech event was wild the other day. We went virtually on board. So keep up the good work.
Thank you. You too. Huh? Thank you. We keep in touch.
Okay, Kyun. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.